Hey guys, it's Ray Net from Farlook Studios, and I just wanted to let you guys know that now is the time for you to make your dreams come true. You've been waiting your whole life trying to come up with this idea, come up with something that you've always had inside you, but you can't because maybe the finances aren't there, maybe you don't feel ready for it, but you can't worry about that. You can't control that right now. There will never be a perfect time, a perfect opportunity. There will never be a perfect setting for you to grow because the magic that you're looking for is in the work that you've been avoiding. You're gonna have to go and do something you've never done. You're gonna have to try to really push yourself and get out there in the world. We've always heard this kind of advice back and forth. We've always thought, oh, it's different for everyone on the screen, everyone on TV is always different, it's always this and that. We have to stop telling ourselves these excuses because it's not real. There is no such thing as professional. All there is overachievers. That's really it. It depends on how ambitious are you. How much are you willing to put into yourself and in your craft? Personally, I didn't really believe in myself at first. I used to be a very shy kid, always drawing in the back of the class, always dreaming, wishing, thinking about maybe one day I'll be someone. Maybe one day I'll think of something that'll happen. One day something will fall out of the sky and I'll become the person I've always wanted to be. Right? Oh, one day I'll be the next Walt Disney, the next Stan Lee, the next Todd McFarlane out of nowhere because, I don't have to put in the work. It just happens with time. But that's not how it works. Walt Disney was borderline homeless before his company even succeeded. Stan Lee was just 17. He was sweeping up the floor before he even edited or wrote the first comic. Todd McFarlane was trying to learn time and time again how to actually draw. He was 25 when he got his first job in the industry, and he only got paid $600 for his first book. He has over 300 rejection letters. People don't realize that that's really what it takes. I've sent out a bunch of applications to Image, Dark Horse, Marvel, DC, all these things. I've gone to small conventions and small venues, which I'll post more of. I'll show that kind of process as well. And I've already self-published 3 books. But the thing is, it's not about what you have done, it's about what you're going to continue doing. It's not really about your past anymore. It's about getting it out there to the people. You have to take control over what it is you want to do. You have to really push yourself before ever having any actual people applaud you. You're going to have to be the person that applauds yourself. You're going to be the only fan. You're going to be the only person enjoying the things you're making. For about 2 years, right, I was making my self-published comic book, and it didn't really go anywhere because, I was in a small school, very local. I probably printed only 20 copies of my little books, and even then it wasn't enough, right? Some of even my closest friends didn't even buy them, oftentimes my own classmates and stuff, there were, for the most part, they were cheering me on. It didn't really support me like that, And you're just gonna have to, for the time being, whatever it is you want to make, whether it's videos, movies, books, animation, whatever it is you're going to do, you're going to have to do it with no audience. And it has to be good at that level. Because how else are you going to be recognized? How else are you going to attain the unattainable? You're going to have to do it whether you have viewership or not, whether you have readers or not. You're going to have to be the person who, I believe it was Mike Tyson who said you have to think like the champion before you actually are the champion. You have to move, you have to think, you have to act like that winner, like the prime version of yourself. You have to think like that person in order to really become that person. What would the ideal version of you be willing to sacrifice and work hard? How much sleep would they sacrifice? How much money would they invest? how many hours of dedication would they put into their work? Because really, it's just, I put a bit of my soul in everything I do. You know, I put my heart, my soul, my sweat, my blood, my tears. I put everything every single piece of me in my work. Is it worth it? Ultimately, you're making these things for you. I believe Rick Rubin himself said that you can't think about the audience. You have to think about making something that you yourself enjoy, because ultimately, that's really who you're making it for. And to be fair, we always kind of know when something is targeted towards, when something is targeted towards an audience or something, and it feels fabricated, it feels like some sort of industry plant kind of thing. That's not organic, that's not natural. What we do want is brand new ideas. We want inspiration, we want motivation within our work. We want, to feel that like, man, I've been trying to make this book since I was a little kid. And that's true for me, at least. I've always wanted to make this book. My own friends from middle school and all that, they know I've been trying to make this thing happen for years. And only recently was I able to at least have one book printed, one book made, one book published. That's all I needed. To me, right there and then, I made it. I succeeded. But then I realized, it's not about having done, it's about continuing to do. You can't just assume that all that you've done in the past, all that hard work and effort that you've compiled into one large piece of work, you can't ever assume that that's enough. Even though I publish something, I'm always like, okay, well, what's the next thing? I'm always working on like 3 books at once, to be fair. Whether if it's a commission book for someone else who's paying me, and it's never really great pay, it's just enough to survive, It's kind of like that McFarlane thing where you got, $600, and I'm probably getting $500. And it's not all at once. You have to assume that's how it works. It's not all at once. But it's about being consistent. It's about keeping on track and constantly moving towards that. It's really just about how can I continue being the man that, the ideal version of myself. How would I continue to move? How would I continue to plan and strategize? Because you can't think about, overnight success. That's not realistic. Overnight success does not exist at all. What it is a compound interest. It's like over time it becomes an overnight success, but it's not really an overnight success. It has to be over time success. Again, it's all about that consistency. How often are you actually trying your hardest? How often are you trying to put in that 112% into your art, your craft, or whatever it is? Most people don't really try that hard, and I think it's pretty evident. A lot of my friends, some of them even graduated from art university. I'm still trying to work towards my bachelor's right now. I'm only 23 right now, and some of them don't even have books when they're already like 25, 27, 30 even. They haven't even published anything. They have no videos, they have nothing, no brand. You're gonna have to do this now because there is no tomorrow. You never really know, because ultimately nothing in this life is promised. So you're gonna have to push yourself and act as though you still want it, even if you attain it. The greatest of people, even though they've attained that level of stardom, even though they have everything they ever wanted, even yet, it wasn't enough. Even still, they were working as though they hadn't achieved it yet. Honestly, as soon as I published my first comic, I didn't think it was it. I wanted to keep pushing forward. I was like, oh, cool. Now I'm already, as soon as I hit that publish button, and as soon as I get that confirmation email that it went through, right? And I purchased all the copies. Even when I see them, it's super happy. You get to see your work, in person, in print. Let me go grab it, actually. As soon as you see your work in print, like, look at this, man. It's beautiful. When you see it in person, it's just so exciting. And as soon as I did that first one, I just couldn't help but think of like, man, rapid fire ideas of what am I going to do for the next one? And that's exactly what I did. I continued, right? And it's about work ethic, it's about consistency. Right around that time, I even quit the job I was working at, and it was actually really good pay. I kind of regret a little bit, but you kind of have to let go of that. I saved up enough money to kind of continue on, because ultimately, this is what I want to do as a living. Nothing else matters. Realize that for a moment. Money is not the goal in life. Being alive is. And if you're doing something, even though you're making money, but it's taking away your life from you, and it's killing you slowly inside, and it's making you depressed, then go and take the risk. I had the luxury of having a supportive family, but a lot of people are still willing to do that risk regardless. Again, Walt Disney was homeless, and he was investing all that he had into that business. So at the time, it was around Halloween, and I even made another one. And none of these are like thin; they're like 60 pages. It's a lot. It's a big book. All of them together, it becomes around 100 something pages, and it's only 3 issues. You see, that's pretty dense. It's pretty dense, man. But as soon as I found that first issue, as soon as I made that one comic, I was like, well, damn, that's so cool, It was all about really getting it going, getting the ball rolling, It's about making it happen. Whether you want it or not, you're gonna have to get the ball rolling now, because how will you ever have something to show for, 5 years down the road if you hadn't started it now? You have to assume it's like planting a seed. It's like you're farming. It's like you're fishing. You have to be patient. You have to put that little bait in the water before you get a catch. You have to put that little seed in the ground before it starts blossoming into something. Before the harvest, So you're really gonna have to start doing it now, whether you're ready or not. I had over 1,000 pages before I even made my 54-page book. Like before I even made my very first comic, right? I had minimum 300 pages already drawn, illustrated, and all that. And that's not even counting like the 40 something page books that I didn't even release to the public, unfinished, but it was fully penciled. I have a bunch of work, a bunch of reps that people don't realize that you need to succeed in this world. To really learn what it is you're doing, to really push yourself forward, you're gonna have to really put that work in, those repetitions, constantly going in after it, You have to stay hungry for it. You have to keep moving forward. I have so many unpublished books that didn't make the cut, but they were great practice. Beautiful practice to get the ball rolling. And then that's where it got me today. I was able to get my talent up to speed. McFarlane had 300 rejection letters. That's not easy to deal with. I have a couple of my own rejection letters, and most of them, honestly, most of my emails and stuff have just been ignored. It is what it is. You can't really be upset about it. Oh man, they didn't care about it. Oh man, this publisher and ignored me, or man, the dream's over. No, man. No, you gotta roll with the punches. You gotta take them on as they come, And honestly, you kind of gotta live for that. You have to live for every time that rug gets pulled from under you, that's where the growing happens. That's really where you start developing into yourself, So the sword is never gonna be finished until it's gone through the fire. That's the character builders right there. That's really all it's about. You're gonna have to push yourself beyond what you thought was possible. Sleepless nights, constant grinding. I was still balancing my full-time classes, full-time student. I was balancing my whole work ethic. I was learning about insurance. I didn't care about any of that, so I didn't know a single damn thing. And I still did the whole certificate. I went through all the 3-month courses and all that stuff. I did the whole thing. And the whole while I was still making my books and still trying to get at least a panel a day, minimum. At least a word a day on the script, something. You gotta just keep going, even if it's not going anywhere. You can't just assume things are gonna happen. You're never gonna meet the right person at the right time and this and that. That's not how it works. For some it may be, but who are you to depend on that? You can't rely on that stuff because there is no such thing as luck. There's no guarantee. Yeah, what you can guarantee is that hard work. What I can guarantee is that other book is coming out soon. What I can guarantee is that I'm still going to try to get it out, regardless. You can't really wait around and wait for things to happen, because that's how life passes you by. And I'm tired of waiting. I was tired of waiting ever since I was in high school. In my mind, there was always this idea of an animated TV show or something, but really what it was is a story of, a character changing their life. My character is a kind of guy who, he literally, just like me, I didn't do this on purpose, by the way, but he literally quits his job, and he hates his job. He quit his job in order to become, this is super relatable for a lot of people. We just want to be comfortable and, eat garbage. He quit his job in order to become the man he wants to be, And that's really, you have to respect that at a certain point, because that's that level of risk. It's not easy, There's a lot of stuff that comes with it. You can see here. There's him in his suit and everything. There's a lot, man. There's a lot that goes into it, but the goal of this thing is that God still loves you, and He's still there for you, right? I mean, the very fact that you're even able to view a video or keep learning and try to find other motivational videos and other things, like the fact that even is there, you're blessed. Like that, there's no other way to put that. You have a luxury that a lot of people don't have. So don't waste it. Take advantage of what you have. Take charge of all the opportunities that you have. Don't wait to hear someone knock at your door. You have to be the one to knock at their door. You have to be the one to go pound the pavement. No one's gonna wait around for you. Ultimately, I think you're good, but you can do better. And even if you are doing a lot, you could always do more. Even if you're giving 90%, 80%, 100%, you could always give that 112%, man. That's that little amount more, that little nod more really elevates people. A level where people honestly didn't think was possible. You're gonna have to be able to reach out and grab it, because no one's gonna give it to you. If you guys like this kind of content and like that kind of face-to-face, I want to do more videos like this. I'm going to start documenting me going to the conventions or getting the books for the first time, right? Getting the shipments, me reaching out comic shops and stuff. It's a lot. It's not easy, man. Especially now that distribution channels and stuff have gone down. It's much more difficult for comic shops to receive books. So I'm basically doing my own distribution. I'm going out there with free business cards and handouts and things, and I got books to sell, man. Whether I want to or not, I'm gonna have to put in that work. And why shouldn't you? If you're younger, take advantage of what you have. Don't sleep on it. No one is a professional. I want you to realize you can do anything you want to do as long as you put your mind into it. And as long as if it comes from a good heart and a good place, you can always pray and ask for God. And He will always listen, no matter what. I love you guys. And if you want more content like this, just let me know. Make sure to like the video, hit subscribe, and share this with your friends if you feel like they need this to be motivated. Make sure to follow me on social media, on Instagram, and make sure to get a copy of Junket, Hidden Worlds Revealed, only on Amazon. I've got 3 issues out right now. Each are self-contained, 60 pages. The Halloween one is almost sold out, but on Amazon you guys can get it at a full price. If anything, let me know in the comments below if you guys are interested in this stuff. But for now, we gotta get that work in. We gotta put that pencil to the paper. Yes, sir. Alright guys, this is RayRayNet from Farlock Studios. I hope you guys get a blessed day, a blessed week. Just remember, God loves you. Peace out.